A comprehensive look at trends, fund profiles, and more in Exploring ETFs.
Biotech ETFs is what we're going to talk about now with our ETF Research Director, Nina Mishra, who joins me here at the desk. So, do I understand correctly that there's a lot of money coming into these ETFs, huh?
Right. So we have seen a lot of M&A in this space. Big pharma companies, they are looking to acquire smaller, innovative biotech companies because they have a lot of money on their balance sheets and they want to boost their portfolios, their drug portfolios, particularly in the area of cancer drugs, oncology. We have seen a lot of M&A, a lot of small companies being acquired by bigger companies. Just this week, earlier this week, Pfizer announced that it is buying Array Biopharma, which is a cancer drug maker. Merck is acquiring Peloton Therapeutics, and Bristol Myers Squibb, which is a giant in this space and a leader in cancer immunotherapy, and that is acquiring Celgene, its rival Celgene, for $74 billion.
Wow.
And earlier this year, Eli Lilly acquired Loxo Oncology. So that is why these smaller companies, their shares have gone up a lot on either on announcements of deals or on speculation of deals. So that is why biotech ETFs that focus on small and mid-cap companies particularly have been outperforming. But investors should remember that these are risky companies.
So volatility exists.
There's a lot of volatility in this space, particularly smaller companies, and some of those companies have their drugs in trial stages where chances of failure are quite high. So this is a high risk and high growth potential space. Invest in it if you understand it properly and if you are comfortable with the volatility.
Do you think that this is a play on the part of the big companies just to get rid of the competition, or is there something else going on here?
So as I mentioned that the global market for cancer drugs, that is very competitive and it's a lucrative market. So many of them want to bolster their cancer drug portfolios, and of course they want to reduce competition too, like we saw in case of Bristol Myers and Celgene deal. They want to become bigger in this space and more powerful.
So a little bit of both things going on.
Yeah.
All right, so the first one of these that we're going to look at is ARC Genomic Revolution Multi-Sector ETF.
So the ticker is ARKG. And this has been doing very well from the beginning of this year. It's an actively managed ETF of companies which are involved particularly in genomics space. 75 basis points expense ratio and 418 million in assets so far, 32% gains in 2019. Now, if you want to learn more about this ETF, you can go to the quote page on Zacks.com and look at the holdings and other details. You can also go to the external homepage of ARK Invest and look at details and holdings. So as I mentioned, it holds companies in healthcare sector, particularly having their business in biotech industry. And these are particularly companies which are involved with genomics revolution. Now looking at the holdings, you will see Illumina, Invitae, CRISPR Therapeutics. These, some of the very innovative, small innovative companies are among the top holdings in the ETF.
Then there's the ALPS Medical Breakthroughs ETF.
The ticker is SBio, easy to remember, and it focuses on small and mid-cap companies that have drugs in clinical trial stage, phase 1 or phase 2. Made its debut in 2014, 50 basis point expense ratio. 187 million in assets so far, and this is up 26% year to date. And again, to learn more about this ETF, you can go to the quote page on Zacks.com, look at the report and our articles. And you can also go to the external homepage of ALPS funds to learn more about this ETF. So US listed biotech firms with one or more drugs in phase 2 or phase 3 of FDA clinical trials. So it's phase 2 or phase 3. I stand corrected there. Market capitalization 200 million to 5 billion, which is small and mid-cap companies. And you can also look at holdings of this ETF. So Array Biopharma, which soared this week because it is being acquired by Pfizer, that is the top holding in this ETF, and that is one of the reasons why it has done so well of late. Other companies also, Gallipet, I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, Mirati Therapeutics, Global Blood Therapeutics. These innovative companies are among the top holdings. This company presented at the ESCO conference recently, and its share got a big boost because of encouraging results from their cancer drug portfolio.
Then finally, the Principal Healthcare Innovators Index ETF.
The ticker is Biotech. This also focuses on small and mid-cap companies that have innovative therapies in early stages therapies. This made its debut in August 2016, 42 basis points expense ratio, relatively smaller, 55 million in assets, and this is up 23% this year. Now, again, you can go to quote page on Zacks.com, and from there you can also go to external homepage to learn more about this ETF. And it says that it focuses on small and medium capitalization US healthcare companies, but mostly biotech companies. In fact, if you look at the fact sheet, you will see that about 62% of the portfolio is biotech and about 11% medical instrument and supplies, related medical instruments and supplies. And you can also look at the top holdings inside: Teleflex, Seattle Genetics, BioMarine, Pharmaceutical. These are among the top holdings in this ETF.
These are all relatively young ETFs. So that said, let's see how they all stack up.
So this is the year-to-date performance chart for these ETFs, and I have compared that with S&P 500 ETF, which is the broad market ETF, and also the market cap weighted biotech ETF, IBB. So as you can see, the ARC product is up 32% this year. The ALPS product S-Bio is up about 26%. The principal Biotech ETF is up about 23%. The S&P 500 index has also done well this year. It's near close to its all-time highs.
Especially recently.
Yes, up about 17%, whereas you will see that the market cap weighted biotech ETF has actually underperformed the broader market, and it is up about 11% this year.
All right, not a bad picture. So do you own either of these?
I do not.
All right, don't forget, always more ETF information on our website. In the ETF section, use the Funds tab in the top toolbar, as I always say. To get to that section, use the podcast link at the bottom of the homepage to get to the ETF Spotlight. That's the podcast that Nina produces and hosts weekly, where she has some interesting guests covering a lot more interesting topics. With Nina, I'm Terry Ruffalo.